What's going on, Giants fans? Good evening. Happy Monday. Let's get into it. It's been a tough year so far for the New York Giants. About a quarter of the season is already in the books, and the Giants are 1-4. Looking all around for some type of help, but I don't think help is coming. Help is not on the way for the New York Football Giants and Brian Daboll, or Joe Shane for that matter. We are in dark times, very dark times. It seems like last year was the end of those times. A very good playoff year, making the playoffs for the first time and winning a playoff game for the first time in over a decade. We thought that was going to be the last of the misery for us Giants fans. We felt like we got the front office right. Joe Shane was the correct hire as general manager. And then hiring former Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll was just the way to go. And last year, it proved it, bar none. Expectations went through the roof this year. And it has not been what we expected or what we had hoped for. Giants have one of the worst offenses in the National Football League. To go with that, one of the worst offensive lines. And really one of the worst quarterback plays of the season. I did not expect this type of regression from Daniel Jones. Second year in the same system, under the same head coach, same coordinator. I thought it was going to be a better year, getting in weapons like Darren Waller, Paris Campbell, drafting a speedster in the third round in Jalen Hyatt, bringing Barkley back, drafting a rookie, running back from Oklahoma in Gray. I thought the general manager did what they could do with the amount of cap restraint that we had to deal with. Still cleaning up after Gettleman's messes, but in a little bit better situation financially than we were just a year prior. But it has not turned out to be the way that we thought it would. The O-line is awful. The offense is even worse. Right now we're averaging about 11 points per game. The defense is no better. We thought this pass rush was going to be a lot better. Second year of Thibodeau. Azeez Ojulari coming back healthy. Got a nice linebacking core in Simmons and Okereke. Got a nice, promising young rookie corner in Deonte Banks. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this team. And hopefully our coach does. Hopefully our general manager does. But right now, it does not look like that's the case. Is Brian Daboll losing this locker room? Is he losing the team? It is year 2, and it seems like it's been the same song and dance with the past 3 previous head coaches. Not even including thin-skinned Shermer. He was just bad all around. But hey, Daniel Jones had his best statistical season under Pat Shermer in his rookie year. 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, almost 4,000 yards. Then it went downhill. Year 2 of Shermer, even worse. And then we hired Joe Judge. Joe Judge gets hired, says all the right things in his first presser. Made you want to run through a wall. His first season, 6-10. Had to deal with the COVID, had to deal with the pandemic. No fans, no training camp, no proper practicing. A lot of guidelines, health guidelines, players getting COVID. They're missing a week or 2 of football. But the team played hard in that first year for Joe Judge. We won close games. We made it close against good teams. Thought that there was going to be stepping stones. Second year, Joe Judge, team was worse. We're going for it. We're doing quarterback sneaks on our own 5-yard line. It just looked really, really bad. Judge did not last 2 years. He was kicked down the road. And then we hire a very promising offensive coordinator in Brian Daboll, along with his buddy and good friend Joe Shane, to be the next general manager head coaching tandem. And what did they do? First year in, they said all the right things. This time we got to the postseason. We won a playoff game, a road playoff game, against a 14-win Minnesota Vikings team. Thinking this year, we're just almost there. We're not quite there yet. Another round of good drafting and another year of good, important, prioritized free agents. We can make the next step up. And we have not done that. We are 1-4. We are not even in any of the games that we have been playing in. We've been either blown out or shut out. This team is not good. Is he losing the locker room? Year 2, it's the same bullshit. When does it end? When does it end? I'm tired of the same crap every year with this team. In and out. The O-line is bad. The O-line is bad. Our draft picks about a year ago have been bust. Thibodeau right now and fucking Evan Neal look like complete first-round busts. Is that on Joe Shane? Do our scouts need to be relooked at and revamped? What is going on with this team? My question to you Giants fans is Brian Daboll losing the locker room? This team shows no fight. This team shows no emotion, no urgency, no fire, no pride. Something is going on with this team. Something is wrong with this coaching team, this locker room, this culture, this chemistry. Something is up. Is Brian Daboll losing this locker room? I don't know. I do not want to say he is. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that these injuries are just something that this young team still just could not overcome, and we're still in the rebuilding phase. I've said it's before. Year 1 for them couldn't have gone worse. Almost missing the playoffs would have been better than making the playoffs and thinking we are a lot further in the rebuilding mode than we really are. Is Daniel Jones the quarterback going forward? At this point, I don't even think so. He's getting abused out there. I think the toll of all the hits he has taken since he's been named the Giants starting quarterback roughly 5 years ago, the hits that he has taken behind a horrible O-line with a horrible offense, with no weapons, no time to throw, it has mentally and physically just run its course. For all parties, something has to change. It's been a bunch of coordinators. It's been a bunch of coaches. One thing remains the same. Daniel Jones, if nothing happens, we just got to move on. It was a bad contract. I did not think at all he was going to regress like this, but this team has gotten worse around him. He's not a bad quarterback, and I honestly think if the team was just assembled so much better when we had drafted him, we would be in a totally different situation than we are now. This team was not ready for a Saquon Barkley type of running back when we drafted him. They were not ready for a quarterback after Eli Manning was down in the last years of his career. This team had to be rebuilt, gutted from the bottom, built back up to the top, and then you draft your generational type running back when you can afford, when everything else is in place, when you already have a solid O-line, when you already have decent receivers, when you already have a good pass rush, when everything like the Eagles have had, you can afford to draft a running back in the top 10 pick of a first round. You can afford to take a project quarterback maybe in the 4th round. Daniel Jones, it's no fault of his own. He should have not have been drafted with the 6th overall pick that year. Giants should have went O-line, and they should continue to go O-line before they take another quarterback. That being said, let me know your thoughts. Is Brian Daboll losing the locker room? I think it's too early to tell. I still believe in him. I still think he's a really good coach. Something's up. I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys can tell me. Give me some of your thoughts. Give me some of your ideas. How can this team go forward? How can we get better sooner rather than later? That's all I got for you guys today. Enjoy your Monday. Later. Go G-Men.